Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. I want you guys to please welcome a fellow high priest and brother of Angel Gang, Deaky Hymes. Say what up, Deaky.
What up? What up? How y'all doing?
All right. So today we are going to do a masculine feminine reading. We're going to tap into the energies. We're both going to speak on both energies because I really feel like there's this very narrow and linear idea of what the divine masculine feminine journey looks like as an individual as well as in a relationship. And I just feel like we're going to try to I'm just going to give my interpretation of the feminine and masculine energy from my perspective. Diki's going to do the same. And we're kind of just going to chat. We're going to, talk about a bunch of things. And just like we usually do when we go live, ask questions. So, Diki, on the right side, you should see a column where it says comments.
Right.
Click on that. It'll get you to see all the comments. So I'll post them on the screen, but you can also see them yourself. So guys, if you have any questions, if you have any topics, feel free to add them in the chat. All right. This is a safe space for us all. So I just want to give the floor to Diki, introduce yourself and kind of share where you are at and what you essentially want to tap into with the collective about our divine feminine masculine journey.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. What up, Angel Gang Gang? It's been a while. This has been like in the making for a while. And like Destiny said, we just want to kind of tap into the energies and kind of give you guys the masculine view of all of the energetic cycles and expressions that are coming through right now that are changing our DNA and allowing us to inhabit, our biggest dreams and our biggest versions of ourselves, I should say. As for me, I've been on this journey. I kind of thought I was on the journey like maybe 5 or 6 years, but you kind of start looking back at the cycles and the way everything happened, and you like, damn, I've been doing this for like 20,
Forever.
like forever.
Yeah.
So it's like I've kind of been in that energy, and but at the same time, still embodying the energy of the divine masculine, which was kind of to hide in the background, not be in the forefront. Kind of take our lumps in the background and let y'all take y'all lumps in the front. We were good,
Yeah, I noticed that. But okay.
Yeah.
We're still both taking our tungsto same way. Right.
Oh yeah. We getting it though. We getting it, but hey, we getting prepared for something that's so great and so marvelous. It's not just about love, 3D love. This is about something that's so big. This is about, the universe and the universe's perspective of us healing and walking in our divine right to heal and be healing, as we talk and we walk. So that's kind of who I am and what I'm doing here and just loving it right now.
So why don't we talk a little bit about the current energy? So there's so much going on. Even before we came on, guys, we were talking just a little bit about the shifts and things like that. And it's overwhelming. It's a very overwhelming time, even for the most conscious of people. It's a very beautiful and inspiring time, but there's a lot going on. So from your perspective, Diki, where do you feel like the divine masculine is? Because I personally feel like that's a perspective that's lacking in the community. I'm not saying it's not there, but the ratio between the divine feminine, not to say, you have to understand, as a divine feminine and masculine, you're balanced in both energies, but it is about a perspective. And I'm living my existence as a divine feminine. So I'm curious myself, I'm indulged in my own divine feminine journey. I, of course, have an idea of what it is, but like the yin and yang, this perspective, would love to know from your perspective what the masculines are struggling with, but also the perspective of the feminine from the masculine's perspective. Do you get what I mean? What does it look like looking at the feminine?
Right. No, I totally get it. So like the masculine is now in this energy where we are learning to value. And that's the one word that I could just use to kind of sum it up. We're learning to value any and everything that helps us express ourselves. And, that goes in line with being true to who you are, just releasing all of the things that no longer serve your higher purpose. And it brings you into that divine moment where you can start to let go of everything and then value. You value yourself. The divine masculine at first learn to value themselves, to look in the mirror and go, I love me for who I am. The world kind of gives us a different view of ourselves. It tells us we have to, kind of sort of have that six pack and, be tall and broad shouldered, and some of us just are not. And so we have to, hey, real talk. So we have to learn to find value in other things inside of ourselves instead of outside of ourselves. And so, but in doing that, what we are doing is we are learning to mimic our divine feminines. We're learning to walk the walk that they walk. They had to learn to value themselves because they had so many karmic males that just trashed them out, that just talked in any type of way. Just
Right.
and it's like they're like, I love you, and they like, I love me too. That's a karmic male. Hey, that's a
It
karmic
was
male.
those vibes. It was those vibes.
You already know. It's like, yeah, I love me too. So hey, what's good? So so now, us divine masculines, we're having to come in and heal that. We're having to hold space for that divine feminine to say, I'm ready now. And if she's not ready, we're having to go, okay, let me sit over here and let me do some internal work while she heals in that way, when she's ready. Because that's a to me, that's a huge perspective that is missing from all masculines, whether you're divine, because some are and some aren't, but whether you are masculine, period, that perspective of understanding and understanding what the feminine means to us, it has been totally lost, in most perspectives of life. And I don't mean to get long-winded, but did you want me to go
No,
into
we're
the way
here.
we
We're
do?
here right now.
Oh,
There's
hey,
don't hold back.
let's
Don't
get
start
it then.
don't start recoiling. Don't start sliding back. Just cool. You're here. We're good. We're only
Right
7 minutes
on.
in.
Right on. Well, here's the thing about to finish up where we're at. We're like on the war path now for that thing that we value. And I don't know if a lot of feminists know this, but the reason why most masculines are constantly jumping from female to female is because they have a hole inside of them. They feel empty and they're trying to fill that void, that hole within them. And so they're always constantly jumping from one woman to the next, and that woman fills that void for 2 seconds, and then it's move on. And so we are having to overcome that too, to be able to say, I value myself more in a sexual way than I once did. And so this is huge, huge for divine masculines. They may be losing a lot of their umph right now, if you know what I mean, just to kind of, be nice about it. They might be losing some of their umph right now where they're just feeling so disconnected from their body because they are going through a whole transformational period right now. With Pluto doing what it's doing, we are going through just a whole transformational period of our whole energetic body. So if there's any divine masculines out there, if you're feeling a little bit less sexual, you're feeling, a little how should I say, sidetracked in your mind, it's okay, because what's happening is your energetic body is filtering through all of these old programs, all of these old paradigms. They are being washed away. You're being made clean, but it's not easy. It's not easy, but that's why you got the broad shoulders and the big muscles. So, hey, you know what I mean? But now, the way we view the feminists, woo, okay. Hey, man, hey. So the way hey, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, cool, cool. I couldn't hear you, so I was like, oh, right. Hey, so hey, the way though that we're looking at the divine feminines is we're looking at you guys like the 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 beginning of our journey. Like if we do not get to you, we can't flow into our journey. So we are feeling right now the divine feminine's energy, the energy to just get up and go, be themselves right now. and be that just express that whole feminine embodiment. So we are so feeling that right now. And what it's doing is it's making us take a step back and look in that proverbial mirror again and go, who am I? How am I matching up to her? And not in a competitive way, but more in a, I know she deserves to have that emperor beside her. And so we are actually kind of learning the rhythm. We're learning that rhythm that
Right.
the divine feminine is giving out, if you know what I mean. We're just in that, but we're viewing her right now as that mark we want to reach, that prize, that one thing I can't lose, and sort of we want to be your hero. And but we're learning that that story is an old one, and she don't need saving.
Right.
She does not need saving. What she needs is for you to be you in your full embodiment.
Right. 100%. Can
Sorry
you see
about
the question?
I
The
do, I do. What would you say in person to a man who holds to the is that patriarchy and hurts others to not lose his power? I would tell him he is weak and small-minded. Honestly, um, I just gotta be real. You told me to be real, so I would be real. I would tell him that he's weak and small-minded because he's not willing to give up a small piece of himself, which is passing away. It's temporal. It doesn't last forever. And if you are investing into something that is not internal and eternal, then I can't waste my time with you. You're not on my path. You're not on the divine masculine's path.
right.
So that would be my comment to him.
And so it's funny though, because I feel like that does tie into how the feminine is seeing herself. So I feel like
Mm,
all the dark work that the feminine did to see herself as worthy and not succumb to this lack of faith narrative, which is I have to do it on my own, and
right,
he'll never come and be there, and I'll always have to bear the burden of life alone. And
right.
that is where the feminine energy is struggling to open her heart, because when
Mm,
she last did open her heart, because of that value of connectivity, it was in a codependent place. So there was no way that was going to work, which is what
mm-hmm.
the feminine is kind of just surrendering and accepting, that a lot of the
Right.
heartbreak and a lot of what didn't work has gotten to her to this place of independence. So
Mm-hmm.
exactly the way the masculine is seeing the feminine is the way she's seeing herself. But part of
Mm,
the reason why the masculine is seeing that feminine that way is because she's seeing herself that way. So it is
right.
definitely the horse before the carriage,
Right. Absolutely.
right?
And it,
My disconnect though is more so of what I was tapping into. I feel like feminines are still in this struggling with a bit of this resentment, which is actually getting them to close their heart to what
mhm,
they're asking for instead of to be open to receive it, which is that
right.
support and that love from her masculine after a long journey of a long and painful journey.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
it's both, and not only that, I also feel collectively there's a disconnect between the masculine and the feminine, because both of them are trying to, because they're awakened and
Mm-hmm.
understand what's required to create a healthy relationship.
Right.
They are procrastinating. Procrastination
Yes.
is tethered to perfection. So they are refusing to accept themselves, therefore each other right where they're at, and then further support each other in the ascension journey. So they're essentially, because these were the two cards that first came out, you know me with the
Ah.
shuffling while we're talking, points. What
Right.
this is both masculine and feminine juggling the idea of coming into union, whether it's receiving union or taking action towards it, because of a lack of acceptance of where they are in the journey and the
Wow.
vulnerability that's required to be open to your partner to let them help you grow.
Mm. So
So
true.
this is where I'm tapping into the masculine. And again, guys, this is my perspective, our perspective, okay, of the collective energies, you know.
Right.
I reached out to brother and I was like, you want to talk about the divine feminine masculine energies? He's like, bomb, why not? Let's do it.
Let's go.
You know
Let's
what I mean?
go.
So you
Let's do
guys could be
this.
feeling differently, but I definitely tapped into that energy, Deke, and I
Hey.
like, because I was not sure that there was a connection. I thought it would be way off.
Right. Nah. Look what I don't know if you could see what I pulled, but
It's the Ace of Cups and what?
High Priest. I don't know if you can
Oh
see it.
shit.
Ace of
Seeking
Cups.
what he values most.
There you go. Exactly what you just said. Confirmation right there on that pull. That's why I looked down, it just popped out. I was like, okay. And I reached out, pick it up. It's like High Priestess Cup of Love. Like, what are you valuing? What did I just say? What do you value? That internal knowing. And it's so crazy because that in the mirror moment that I spoke of for divine masculines, like everything you just said totally engulfs that. Like looking in the mirror and trying to find the value in the self to be able to say, hey, I'm your divine masculine. I'm home, baby.
Right.
It's like
and the for the feminine to receive it without boxing him across.
Right. Like, boy, where you been? Oh my God.
Right.
Right on. That's where we're at, man. That's where we're at right now. Holy crap.
All right. So you want to do a spread, pull some cards, and let's tap into some energies. I mean, it could be anything that comes out. We don't have to stay to the divine masculine and feminine relationship dynamic. It can be, but the kind of energies that we're in, I feel like the collective has gotten to ourselves to a point of the journey where it's not just about this romantic connection, because a lot of these romantic connections are coming into place. And then what the fuck do you two do?
Right.
About the bigger picture. So we can also pull on what else is going on collectively in the atmosphere. Right. I mean, shit. Right. Lots going on.
Yep,
exactly. All right, but let's pray first. I'm going to start with prayer and then you can go ahead, okay?
Yes,
Father
ma'am.
God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow us to communicate clearly to the collective all the messages that are in our greatest good, surrounding our material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to us, our personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Father God, Holy Spirit, ancestors, guardian angels, for anything you do for me, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular, all the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High forever and ever. Amen.
Right. Amen. Boom. Hey, I love it. As individuals, we need to identify both. Yes, that is part of walking in the Christ. Right there, you are the Christ when you can balance
Christ
both.
Consciousness.
That's Christ consciousness right there. And I mean, I love that right there was divine intervention, because
right.
I mean, that is what the masculines are ascending to. We are on the arc of divine consciousness. We're coming into that being. And on the other side of it is the divine feminine arcing up. And when we meet, there's a spark, electricity. And when we unite, we change the world. We change the entire world. So that's what we're here for, to literally walk in that power. Yes, ma'am.
Like that.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So I'll just, you want me to start off with this spread?
Come on. Let's just do what we do.
Yes, ma'am. Let me mix them up. Let's see. All right, I'm pulling for my divine masculines, of course, but what I'm pulling for is what is our next step to evolve into this ascension? What is our next step we need to do to become the people we want to be? All right. So the first thing I got was the sun card. We got the sun card right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. My camera's off, but there we go.
Yeah.
We got the sun card right there first. So the first thing already, I can't even pull a clarification because it's already there. Be the sun. Come out of your shell. It's divine masculine. It's time to step into the forefront and be you. Be true to who you are. And that's the first thing. Like, I already knew it's coming out. Learning to value you for who you are. She will accept you for who you are. Don't be in fear. That right there was just like, and oh my God, Knight of Wands. There we go. Moving forward in that triumph, moving forward with that divine message, with that divine linga, that energy on the within that's in that root chakra. That's all I'm seeing right now is a birth of that root chakra energy from the divine mother, bringing us the balance in our pole flip. Because I see the pole too. So, hey, he's the Knight of Wands, man. He's bringing the one divine masculine perspective.
That's what we need. That's what we need. There's a safe space for divine masculine.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then let's see. Let me get one more for where we need to move to go for. Man, you can't make this up. Queen of Wands. The whole family is here. Come on, man.
Whoa.
And what I'm hearing right now is you are the sun, divine masculines. You are the sun. Like the SON and the SUN. You are the sun that is supposed to shine bright, to bring health and healing, to bring that vitamin D to the divine fish.
You said it first. God vision, whoever this person is dying of laughter.
Because this is for somebody specific, I'm starting to feel. But hey, we as a whole, though, we are pulling in this energy. And what this is telling me, honestly, on a serious note, our soul is coming together. Our soul is being made whole. The soul fractals that we've lost over multiple lifetimes, over multiple situations, is coming back together, making us whole and complete so that we can be the embodiment of the true masculine up on the earth. To hold and anchor in that frequency. Yeah, I hear you. To anchor in that frequency and be the strength you need, and you'll be the strength she needs. That right there. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got, sis. That's it right now.
So we can pass it back. We can pass it back and forth. Let me see what we get now.
Yes, ma'am.
We get, and I'm just gonna see what energies it could be about. We'll see. We'll just see.
Yeah, that right there was awesome. I love that. Right. Thank you, Miss Power.
They're rising up literally and figuratively. Minua.
Literally and figuratively. Oh.
The Hermit. This is the first card out. I feel like it goes to this energy we were talking about of coming out of solitude. So whether this is surrounding the masculine, feminine journey of romance and union, or as an individual, your masculine, feminine energy, this is knowing you don't have to do it alone and being open. Because in the partnership, I just feel like both the masculine and the feminine are doing it out of alone past the karmic cycle, meaning it was necessary to do certain parts of it in solitude, to understand what loneliness was and to cure yourself of that, because real loneliness is an internal issue because of missing parts of yourself that you can't live without. It hurts.
Right.
So that journey was necessary for both the masculine and feminine, but this is about what needs to now be accomplished because they've come together. There are certain things that the masculine and feminine will never accomplish until they come together. There are certain things collective you as an individual will never accomplish until you bring your masculine, feminine energy into union. So this is where a lot of people are feeling irritated and triggered, because anything that gets in the way of what you're consciously asking for and divinely ready for is being triggered up because it needs to be removed.
Right.
So high period for triggering right now. High period for triggering right now.
Right.
What else? Lovers and Hermit. That's two major arcana. That's Gemini energy and Virgo energy. So that's grounding in decisions, right? Because we've got the Two of Pentacles. So this is juggling what you believe. This is juggling the reality. We talked about this. Juggling the reality you want and investing into it, and then juggling it with the reality you'll settle with because you don't have faith in another reality. So I'm just seeing that some of you guys, both masculine and feminine, have to be very careful about what they're doing, how they're investing their time, and the actions they're taking, and what it's a reflection of. The old narrative and the reality that you know very well because you've lived it out, or the reality that is slowly materializing, but you're still struggling to have faith with. The potential, the hope. So I see both masculine and feminine juggling this. And I honestly believe that the universe, we keep getting temperance energy. That is the divine balancing out. Temperance, Libra energy. This is balance. And what that is actually is a balance of energy. Think of it going like this.
Yep. Yep.
Ding! Sound therapy creates a huge energy vibration. You feel it. That's the spark that people run and chase. You're looking for that. Because sometimes you can be affected by even just swinging close up with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you hit, creates a sound, has a feeling, an energy vibration. The divine is waiting. So because people are getting frustrated. I'm waiting. What else more do I have to do? I've been waiting. The divine is waiting for you. You're literally channeling the guides going, what else do we have to do for you? We're waiting for you. You're literally channeling that and then saying it back to the divine. You need to channel that and feel it.
Right.
You're projecting onto the divine every time. And it's the temperance card that many of you guys get really triggered with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're trying to bring in the alchemy that's required. It's like an environment. Some of you are chemists and biologists. You need a certain environment to get, this is what the divine's working on. They're like, we need the culture. We need the love. They're alchemists. They're the ones who taught us how to alchemate here on earth, how to use earth, fire, wind, water to manifest, to create. But they're doing that with us. They need our energy. So this is where we call it spiritual warfare, where your wounding and your pain makes it hard to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, but both are struggling. And this is where masculine and feminine need to understand neither of you are bearing this burden alone. Because I don't know about feminine masculines, but I know enough feminines feel resentful because they feel they've had to bear the burden of alone because they don't understand how their masculine's love energetically impacts them and pushes them forward.
Right.
Because it's obvious the masculine is drawing that energy on the physical plane.
Mm-hmm.
From observation and these things, but the feminine, because they can't see it, they think they're dragging that it's not happening this way. Yep. The masculine gives the feminine a lot of energy and protection, and because of the love, the potency of that love, it does things that the human masculine doesn't even understand yet.
Right.
Right.
That is so deep. That is so deep. You say that because I mean that.
Right, baby.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's like, wow, because we are having to love that wound and the womb inside of you. That means the fruit of it. In other words, we know that she's wounded, and we may have been some of the causes of that wound, but we are also having to love it. We're having to say, hey, this is who she is, and I accept her for who she is, and I will not reflect negativity. I won't do it. I'm going to love her through whatever pain she has. And that requires the divine masculine to come into a oneness with his divine feminine, because he is only mimicking out the feminines that he had in his life, whether they were toxic, whether they were good. He is mimicking that out. So when a man has to get into his emotions, he's going to act like his mama. He's gonna act like his grandma. Hey, hey. I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. You told me throw it out there, so hey, you gonna act like your mama.
We love it.
And you got to grow up. So in other words, you got to look at what mama did, and you got to go, okay, I can't act like that. If mama threw stuff and was angry or mad, I got to calm that down, and I got to heal that, because when I do that, I'm healing it for my daughter or son when I pass on that genetic code. So this is a huge, huge thing you just said, because we are going through this collectively, whether we know it or not, whether we feel it or not. I promise you, it's like we're having to heal that feminine within us to be able to recognize that true femininity in you and protect it and nurture it, not try to use it to our advantage, but to nurture that thing. You know what I'm saying?
And I'll be honest, I try to tell feminine this, because I've learned this the hard way. If there's anything I learned about this spiritual journey with regards to partnership, is that feminines, you want a masculine to protect you. And God has put you on a journey to show you how you can protect yourself in all the ways society told you you needed that man to do it. But you do need, and now that you prove that you don't need that man to do that, you need to tap into what you do need that man to do. And it is to protect you, and it's spiritually. So when people try to bad mind, try to lead him astray and be a snake in his ear, he'll look at them like, who are you talking about? Or when temptation comes and tries to lure him, he's like, bitch, love yourself. Okay? Like, this is how a masculine truly protects his feminine. Her dreams, he supports her. He doesn't, when he sees her turning on herself, he doesn't allow her to do it. So redefine, because the masculine does protect. It did it to yourself, but it's the definition of what that protection truly means. Because the fact is, collective feminines, you need to protect your own masculine energy for how it didn't protect you in all the spiritual ways that the masculines reflected to you in your karmics didn't.
Right. And when you do that, you are able to hold him accountable.
Bingo.
To that same level, the level that I had to go to and rise up from. I'm holding you to that level because you are the physical embodiment of it. So, like, my feminine was injured. I grew up in foster care my whole life, just to kind of give a quick backstory. And so I knew my mother, but at the age of 5, I went into foster care because she had an affair with a married man. And I came out looking just like him. So she tried to beat him out of me every day. So from the age of, birth up until the state took me away at 5.5 years old, I was just getting abused, molested, just anything that you could imagine what you don't want to happen to a child was happening. But here's my point to that. Everybody got an excuse as to why they can say something. They can just be a punk. They can just be disrespectful. Everybody got a backstory, in other words. But how many can then say, as you said earlier, Destiny, what are we going to do now? How are we going to fix it now? How are we moving forward now in this thing? So it's like seeing what you just, or hearing what you just said, allows me to even heal right now. Exactly what you just said, because it allows me to identify with my feminine and what I had to go through. So, of course, I get 14, 15 years old. I'm gung-ho, I'm a young man, and women are just there for my pleasure. And so you get 18 years old and you find out women have babies too. And they're not just there for your pleasure. You go figure out some things, brother. You thought you was about to go do this, but hey, you learn responsibility. But here's the trip part about it. You're doing it through your feminine side, because the very thing that you're taking advantage of is the very thing you're trying to heal. Like attracts like. You're magnetically attracting the very female or the very feminine that's going to help you heal that wound inside of you. So don't get mad at her. Don't call her names. You need to look in the mirror and kind of relate that to your feminine side and pick it up.
Wow. You've got the feminine's emotional. It's really beautiful to hear this perspective, so transparent and authentic. It's beautiful. And feminines, just the way you see Deaky express himself, many of you that are watching this, the reason why you were drawn to it is because there's going to be a masculine who comes to you, whether it's your father, your brother, your romantic partner, who's going to come to you with this authenticity and this transparency, and it needs to be honored.
Right.
And respected, or else you're part of the problem and perpetuating. And that's really just a reflection of your own masculine energy that doesn't feel comfortable with doing that yet.
Right.
That's when feminines get like that with masculines, when they're in moments of being transparent and tender, some feminines genuinely get uncomfortable. And it's because of how badly the patriarchy was shoved down their face and how their own toxic masculine perpetuates, well, you're not strong then and you're not this. So it's right. So then what does she do? She then goes and manifests a masculine who is a reflection of that patriarchy, who has no emotions and feelings or lacks empathy.
Yep. And go, why?
Right.
It's
right.
like,
so because I feel like there's a heavy emphasis on the trauma and the abuse that has been done to the feminine because of the work that we have been doing out and publicly and just all over the place. But because of that, there's almost this assumption, and I know it's not a conscious assumption, but there's this need to understand that the masculine shares the same wounds from the patriarchy, because the feminine's going, the patriarchy destroyed me.
Yes, ma'am.
Patriarchy destroyed me, and it raped me, and it abused me, and it used me. But the masculine feels the exact same way: raped, abused, and used.
Straight up, I couldn't have put it no better. Like, we are both dealing with the same issues, just in different ways, and it's playing out a different energetic expression, but we are the same. There's no way I can say me and my divine feminine are not one. We are sharing the same soul frequency, not the same soul, but the same soul frequency we're on. So she has to be able to know what I go through. When I hurt, she hurts. She doesn't even have to hear my voice. This is what we're going through. You know, the divine feminine is waking up in the middle of the night going, oh my God, what is wrong? Because he is up in the middle of the night going, why? Why am I doing this? What do I need to do better? Why am I not stepping into union with myself? In other words, why am I not stepping into the very things I know is for my higher good? I know this is. So I got to come into union with the very thoughts that want to elevate me. But instead, I stay in the lower frequencies, which feel good. That's the revival of the root chakra. It's a new energy coming into the root chakra for the male. And this is why they may not feel so spry, you know, so energetic sexually, because this energy is being reversed. And I think we were talking about this a little bit the other day. It's like women had to display their masculinity on the outside, because if they did not, they would not have been the leaders. They would have not been the people we've been looking at. And they would have not survived. There'll be very few women left, because there's a group of people came through, and I mean, they were hell bent on raping and killing every woman they could find.
Right.
So women had to become strong. So here's my point to this. As we are going through this energetic pole shift right now, the earth is, we are too, because we are expressions of the same divine energy. And now we are going into the pole shift where we are expressing our feminine energy in the front, and you guys are expressing your masculine energy in the front. It's like, but it's a healed one. It's a healed masculine energy. And the reason why is because we're having to push through this. We're having to root in and ground in, and it takes both of us to be strong. But the moment we come into a union, inside, energetically or physically, it literally puts us right into that frequency where we're supposed to be: divine masculine, divine feminine. And we're preparing for it now. Like, I know so many divine masculines that are going on diets, they're working out, they're getting fit, man. They're like, hey, I'm preparing, because they can feel that energy. And then, like with the feminines, I imagine you guys are feminine, feeling very feminine now. And the reason why is because that energy has honed in. It is home, and it is re-engineering you, I should say, to be able to receive energy in a different way. So as we learn what that feminine truly means, we're going to wear that feminine on the outside. This is the reason for Christ having long hair. This is the reason for him looking feminine. This is the whole point, was because he was the embodiment of a man who knew his strength of his masculine energy and the strength of his feminine energy. And he allowed them to be in union every day, which is what this means. The right and the left hand is together. Samudra. We're together every day in oneness. So it's like understanding that and then living it out. That energy right there is where we got to be.
Wow. Somebody asked, how can we help the divine masculine heal? And I want you to answer that too. But a big part of how we help the divine masculine heal is exactly what we just said. Being open when he does come bearing his wounds and his vulnerability, and how you receive that. Because a lot of the time we want to offer the healing we think is necessary, instead of really being open. And we do this even on the planet. We go around into people's countries and tell them what they need in their country and what's for them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And instead of just being open and having active listening skills, which is a skill you actually have to hone in on. I know this because I struggle with active listening. But the more I learn to active listen, the more I learn to how to actually respond to people, what they need, how to actually create impact. So you really want to offer healing to the masculine. Don't judge him. Don't blame him, telling him, "Oh, you're just this ball and fucking chain. Just drag it along." That's not going to help with the healing process. It's also quite narcissistic because true high priestesses understand that it's an ecosystem. How he support, how he pulls on your energy in the 3D, you pull off of his in the motherfucking 5D with our fucking witchy bitchy asses. I get what the fuck I do to the 5D. I don't know about you guys.
Right.
So, feels it, and I feel it too.
Right on, right on. Hey, so like how can we help him heal? By literally reflecting the truth you want him to be. Do not reflect his negativity. Reflect the truth of who he is and what you need. And it is on him to then heal. My journey began with me looking in the mirror in tears, going, I'm a piece of shit. I don't like myself. And why don't I like myself? Oh, because of the things I've done, the things I've never forgiven myself for, the people I've never forgiven. Now I look in the mirror, I smile. I go, hey, man, how you doing today? Good to see you again. I love my temple. This is my temple. And masculines have to learn this is my temple. See, man, what you said earlier, yo, that was it. I've been raped too. I've been beat too. I've been lied to. I've had to struggle to get jobs. I've been told this is so real. I've been told I was gay because I evolved past the point of needing to use my penis to say I love you.
Wow. You just
That's
attack the patriarchy. You just stab the patriarchy in its liver.
straight up. Straight up. Because this is they have turned the consciousness of man upside down. And this is what we are here doing. This is why it takes two of us. We're anchoring in the binary system of the universe. So we together are the full embodiment of source. We are the left and the right hand. So you're not just getting one, you're getting that left and that right. And when we come together into that holy union, in other words, we are whole and complete, not HOLY, WHOLLY. We are holy and complete. That's when we can't be touched. That's when we will anchor in the true new earth. We will anchor in the true new frequency. And then you will start to see so much change upon the earth. But the divine masculine has to heal within first.
Yes.
But
So somebody asked, how do you know if it's your divine masculine or your divine feminine? Okay. And that's actually a really fantastic question because a lot of people, this two of coins and this lovers is that not knowing. And a big part of why you don't know is because you can't identify your own masculine energy. And essentially, the conflict you're experiencing internally about whatever option you have is actually your masculine energy going, you can't be with somebody lesser than me, dude.
Than you. Yes. Yes.
This person doesn't reflect our morals, our values, how we live, what we believe. You want to go and give this motherfucker all our feminine healing, but I have healing I got to do, and I wouldn't even do half of the shit that motherfucker did to you.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
Feminines, this is your own internal masculine that I'm channeling, not the external one.
Yeah, not the external.
This is how you identify the external one. This is how you know. And essentially, you have to learn to love and accept your karmic nature, or else you won't be able to identify when you manifest a karmic masculine, which is a reflection of your lack of availability and faith in love, which is what they taught you, what they're meant to teach you. Crack your heart chakra open so you see the wounding, heal it, and then increase your capacity for genuine, authentic love. This is the journey. So that's why I'm trying to say, guys, this whole twin flame 144 thing seems like the ops to me, because this journey should be focused about the individual. Focus it within the money readings. There is no money readings, because of course you're going to manifest abundance. There is no love readings, because of course you're going to manifest the mirror of that healthy lover that you live out for yourself. So that's why I always tell people tarot's a dying industry, because as we ascend, awaken, and come into union with ourselves, our 10 of Pentacles, there's nothing to get anyone else to read for us anymore.
Yes. And it's one thing that I know you used to say all of the time, and it was, I don't need the cards. They're just a tool. And that's where we're headed. They're a tool just to be able to say, hey, this is what, but I don't need them. I can sit here and tell you everything right now, just like you could. But it's an interactory tool. So what you're saying is so right on with the energy that we're expressing as a consciousness, a whole collective consciousness. We're moving so far away from that. We're moving into that newness where we're on telepathy. We're here with it now. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
So that's another energy for divine partners. Is we're in Aquarius season, and Aquarius season teaches us how to be a psychic. So this is the tarot community season. This is our season, right? So this is where hopefully the tarot community can support and inspire you into letting your own psychic live. And very much so in these divine partnerships. Remember, we started the reading, I went on mute, and it was like, you were like, can you hear me? And I thought you could hear me, but you couldn't. Everyone's telling me it's on mute. That is a miscommunication that is occurring even in the ethers, whether on the third dimension between partnerships or in the ether. So Aquarius season is actually going to support us with communication, which starts here. Even if you're speaking to someone in their face, it started telepathically. That's why there's a lot of things that you won't say to people, because you told them telepathically and they said, bitch, you better not fucking say that to me in real life.
I wish you would.
I wish you would. So that's where I feel like I feel like communication on a third dimensional level is going to happen, which is very much going to be triggered though, because of this clarity that comes in between telepathic communication between the lovers.
Right.
Where there's that is so true. I know you're not perfect. We're gonna heal together. It's okay. You're not alone. I don't perpetuate that narrative. A lot of the people in the tarot community don't understand. You get your you get your partners to go look at tarot, and they watch it and they're like, I'm not gonna fucking take no action. That's fucked up. Like, that shit is fucked. It's not helping anybody.
Right.
Or maybe I'll speak for myself. Because I don't want the hoes attacking me and ripping my ass. We fight. We love each other. We're sisters, but we all fight.
Oh my gosh, I love this, man. I love this. Look, on 2/2/2022. I love it. I mean, this is perfect. You already know.
And it's 2/5. It's 5 2s.
Oh, come on. Look at that. You already know. We
were on live. People were putting 555. Add it all together, collective, and you tell me we ain't at the end of this bullshit.
Yeah, we is. And look, it ain't nothing that anybody can do about it. I promise you. Like, don't let fear grapple you. That's just all. That is an illusion.
It's like such an illusion, and it's such an inheritance grabber. It's such an inheritance snatcher.
Yes.
The fear.
Hey, man. Like, people say, "What's the devil?" I say the food is the devil, and fear.
Oh, don't get the Nazis started on the food. Don't get the Nazis started on the food. No. Oh shit.
Oh man, this is wild. But yo, with all of the karmic bonds and attachments that are releasing, I'm telling you, man, we're headed for such a strong I call it an arc, because we're always going through these cycles where we're going up and down and up, and, riding the wave, the frequency. And so as we ascend and we go up this arc, it's like together on the next side of it. I would say starting today, it's going to boost up on the 22nd. It's just that energy is going to just double itself, of course. And I mean, we're going to take off even higher into this, but it's for a bigger swing to come around. But what goes up comes down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it's like that's where we're going to have to start, preparing to go, hey, on the other side of this, I still may have a little bit more cleaning up to do. I may have to go in my closet a little bit more and go, hey, that ain't going to work in this new timeline, in this new shift of events.
Just know, guys, if you put your ego aside, you won't be ashamed to bear that to your partner and allow you both to help with you. You can do it alone or you can do it with your partner. It's up to you. It's hard either way. But I just want to make something really clear, because it's about the mission always and forever. And you guys are on Queen Cup channel. And from we talk about divine feminine masculine, we're going to talk about it from the realest, the real ways. When these partnerships come into reality, the burden they bear because of the mission that is associated with their royalty will get you to be grateful for your singlehood. So just enjoy where you're at.
Telling you.
Just enjoy whether you are in partnerships, where that relationship is, and respect the process of healing karmic cycles with a partner. I honestly think it's easier by yourself, but who's to say? It's hard either way. Okay? I mean, I think it's harder in partnerships. It's easier by yourself. But either way, just know when these partnerships come into play, it's like it just begins. And a lot of this journey is just focused on the union, and then there's nothing about the story after. Just know that here, and anybody I brought on here, from Mama D to Queen Cup to Diki, is going to support you in the process after these unions occur. We ain't going to leave you hanging, I promise.
Nah, no way. It's too important.
That's the best part. That's when the movie starts. That's when the action begins. That's when all your dreams, because I'm telling you guys, collective, and this could be even internally collective. It's not just your partnership, that union of that masculine, feminine energy within. It's really where the journey starts after. The whole point for them the universe is trying to get them together because of what they can then do and accomplish. And what they do is a lot of what you fantasize, dream about, and hopes just magically happens. Nothing magically happens. You make it happen. You're the magic.
You're the magic. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I concur. That is beautiful. I don't even have to say nothing. That's beautiful.
No, I think this was our first session. I think it was really good. Unless you have any closing words, I feel like now we're going to collective. Okay. We're going to see if the masculine has worked on his commitment issues. So Diki,
yes, ma'am.
Would you like to commit? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm here for
schedule programming. Everybody wants a regular shift. Maybe we'll do once a month thing. I don't know. We'll see. But we just wanted to try this, right? And see this vibe. And I think it's great. I honestly feel that you guys should please go and subscribe. Diki has a YouTube. It's literally at the bottom of his screen at Diki, DEKE. Hymes, Diki Hymes. He puts out content. He may pull cards, he may not. But guys, show him support. And he's not just for guys, like feminines, go and watch his content, because I feel like even the fact that there's a yearning for the opposite perspective is showing this open and receptivity and the union energy that's occurring in the ethers between the two. What are you thinking? What's your perspective? I'm done ramming down my perspective down your throat. Let me know how you're feeling and where you're at. But both of them are feeling that way. That's a beautiful thing. Right. So yeah.
I look, whatever you need, I'm here for you. You already know it. So, I want to be a part of this and add the perspective, the male perspective. So yes, ma'am, I commit to it. And, there's not too much content on my channel because, or I should say new content, because it's like inside, I could not do it anymore. It was like that balance wasn't there. And it was like, this is what was needed, because now I feel that balance inside to now go ahead and make that content in that way. And to express those things without fear. Because see, here's the thing about it, and it's something that a lot of people don't understand. If I am telling you, it's because I went through it. I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know and what I lived.
So yes, thank you for saying that, because a lot of people will channel and act like they don't resonate with the energy. If it is you, right?
It's you, man. So I mean, but getting out of that fear of not having that support, not having that safe space, and understanding that, hey, the universe is the safe space. The universe, the whole of it is the safe space.
That made me
You know what I
feel
mean?
good inside. That made me feel all warm inside still. Monogali still.
Oh my gosh, my love. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you so
Thank
much
you.
and everything that you have done for this collective. You are cherished, you are loved, and I hold you in the highest regard, High Priestess. I love you so much, Empress. Thank you.
All praise be to the Most High. Thank you, brother. All right. And
Yes,
until
ma'am.
the next time we get together, guys, we're actually at Mama D's house this Friday for the 3 of Cups. All right. And thank you guys for supporting this content, supporting the community we're building here of high priests and high priestesses that are just all we have in common is this devotion to this ascension journey and the reclaiming back of our universe, our world, our birthright,
Yes.
and coming back
Yes.
into union with the ecosystem. All right. Keep letting your inner angels live. Mwah. Ciao.
Ah.